My name is Kiana Clark, and what did I call?
I'm sorry.
What did I call?
Oh, this is SMI One Card.
Okay.
May I have your last one of your social to pull up the account, please?
Yes, I'm sorry. What was your name?
My name is Irene.
Do you have an employee ID?
No, ma'am.
No employee.
Not Irene. I'm the only.
The only what? I'm sorry. What were you saying?
I said I'm the only Irene.
Okay. I have a.
I wanted a customer.
Okay. I have a couple of issues. I'm targeted by the government, and I am under this huge harassment scheme. So it kind of makes it difficult when I get gas and I'm forced to go on the inside because a lot of cars rush me, and I don't understand why you guys are enforcing that I get my go on the inside. Why can't I get my gas outside? I've been able to get it all years. My rights are being deprived in so many different ways. I don't understand why I'm being forced to go on the inside to get violated. Do I have a choice of being able to pay at the pump?
For the pump, it's not going to let you pay at the pump on here. That's basically how, because it's the prepaid government, it's a state card, and that's how it's set up. So if you're going to pay for gas, you have to go inside and pay. You can pay for gas, but you would have to go inside on the account. If you go and try to pay for gas at the pump, it's going to decline your card.
Okay. I mean, it's for the child support payments. I have child support payments and multiple other things coming in on this card. And because I don't understand, because a lot of representatives are dishonest and cover for crimes. So, but like the last time I called, I told this woman that I kept in government harassment schemes, I would get overcharged, and I had to strategically watch my statement. And she covered for the crimes when I called in. And I escalated to a supervisor, which also covered for crimes. I said that I was actually overcharged another time prior when I just disregarded it. See, I make these payments and then an extra $3 or $4 is tacked on. And I try to report it. See, I'm under this harassment scheme, and then they try to keep my change in person. They do it in person too, and they do it with my card statement. But I don't understand why a supervisor would cover for that. Isn't that a crime?
No, like I said,
oh, it's not a crime to overcharge someone, embezzle funds, and charge someone for people to do that. That's not criminal. I tried to report it to the police, and they detained me in Dangerfield. Yeah. That's not a crime? It's okay?
No, because it tells you on here when you get the card what that is on here. If you go say to use
Ma'am, I just told you that I'm overcharged $3 or $4 in schemes, and then they do it in person. The government entices organizations or businesses to deprive me of funds in person, try to keep change and overcharge me if I'm not paying attention, and that's not a crime?
No, because it tells you when you activate the card, it tells you what you're going to be charged for and what there's a percentage that's going to.
Oh, because if the government can entice a card company to enforce someone to go inside to terrorize them, that would be pretty sick. So being overcharged is not criminal? You're saying that for people to deliberately overcharge me in scams is not a crime?
Well, if you don't, if it is, they don't tell you about it on here, but it does on here when you activate the card.
Oh, it tells you that you're going to get overcharged in corruption. It says that on the card?
It tells you on here what you're going to be charged for, but a lot of people don't.
Oh, okay. Let me address it again, ma'am, because so many people cover up for crimes. I don't think that we have a proper understanding. I am overcharged. My receipt will say an amount, and on my card statement, it would be $3 or $4 extra, hoping that I don't realize it. But at one point, $200 or $300 would come up missing. Police refuse investigation and have detained me to cover up for it. So you're saying that when I'm overcharged repetitively, routinely for these transactions, $3 or $4, that's not a crime? When I have a receipt saying an amount and then you charge another amount?
Again, it tells you on here what you're going to be, what the percentage can be on your account, on your card. When you get it, there's a big package because I have the same card. I have the same card, and you have to go. It'll tell you there what you're going to be charged for, what the percentage is. All it tells you on there what you're going to be, and then when you go and use the card, then that's when it can hold it. It can hold it while it's still in pin.
They're scammers. She's muted. They cover for everything.
But that's basically
I'm the
how
government
the card
enforces that I speak to scammers that have an excuse for all the crimes. She's trying to validate me getting overcharged. And what if they were doing this to elderly people that did not realize that they were speaking to scammers?
The only thing on here, you have an option where you can change on there to a different card or something on there. But that's how this card is set up. That's the terms and the conditions of the card.
Okay, so you're saying that when I have a receipt that has an amount and I'm overcharged $3 or $4 on my credit card statement, there's a percentage that they're supposed to overcharge me?
No, it's a gratuity hold. Whenever you use it anywhere where there's a tip involved, either at a nail salon.
They've done it when I was making a purchase for makeup. They did it when I was making a purchase for makeup.
Right, anything like that on here that includes the
it doesn't. That's not gratuity. That's not gratuity, ma'am. How at Neiman's making a purchase for makeup? How's that gratuity?
No, if it tells you on here as far as what you're going to go, where you're going to go to be able to do that now.
Right, but I just told you that you said that the supervisor said that they did it for gratuity and then they changed it. Why would they force me to tip someone if I don't want to tip them a certain amount? That massive tip amount. Why would my credit card company? I called a restaurant where I was overcharged and they said they didn't charge me that amount. So why would you guys force a tip that I didn't authorize?
You authorized it on here when you got the card and you activated the card.
Okay, no, this is new. This is new. I don't appreciate that you guys forcing me to tip people because that sounds more like fraud and crimes. Why would you force that I tip people? And then why would the supervisor get caught in a lie and then disconnect the call from my credit card company? Okay, so since all of this is okay for you, let's discuss in 2018 when I was destitute and scared, how my card got cut off. Because they keep playing games and won't tell me how my card got cut off. It would routinely get disabled and I was deprived of funds when I was going through a crisis. Food stamps were stolen and all other chaos. My bank deprived me of funds and eventually forced me to close my account out of corruption. I have a lot of crazy things going on, but I'm not quite sure why you guys would deprive me of funds too. I tried to report it, but I was detained, arrested in Dangerfield, Texas. And Longview wouldn't take the report. They just flat out. So multiple different times when I was in crisis, I tried to use my card and it was disabled. Then someone just completely disabled it. Why would they do that in 2018? I believe it was in December, and I couldn't use it for months.
Yeah, the only thing on there is that they monitor these cards.
Ma'am, you're the card company, right? You're the card company? Can you look and see what happened, which caused you to disable my card, depriving me of funds when my bank did it, Health and Human Services did it, and all kind of other avenues deprived me of funds in the crisis, even food stamps? So can you tell me why you guys cut my card off, preventing me from having access in this crisis to the funds?
When did this occur, ma'am?
This was around November of 2018. And I did not have access to all the way to around January. And I had a lot of crazy things going on. People were told not to help me and give me support in multiple different avenues. So me not having access to my card was a crisis. When I introduced this call, I'm targeted by the government and they entice too many people to commit crimes with them. And I would like to have a choice to be able to pay for gas outside. That way I wouldn't have to go inside and get terrorized by all these stunt drivers. I don't know why you guys would require that, but you say since it's a prepaid card, it's okay. Then you say it's okay for me to get overcharged because they force a gratuity. It's forced. The last person told me that they take it off. Then they didn't take it off. And then now you're saying that they don't take it off, but they force a gratuity. I've never heard of that, ma'am. It sounds like fraud to me.
This is a prepaid card.
Ma'am, we were talking about why my card was disabled and cut off in a crisis and deprived me of funds for months.
Okay. Well, hold on just a moment. Okay?
Yeah, I shouldn't be forced to talk to scammers, ma'am, that cover for crimes. It's sick. So when they get caught in lies, they normally hang up, transfer to someone else that'll cover for crimes, deflect, disregard. Then it's a part of the harassment scheme because you have to repeat yourself all over again. But going through this years, who would believe that the government would have enlisted a party to speak with scammers? That would easily blend into mental illness. No one would ever believe that unless you see it. Why the government controlling someone's phone? No horror movie would ever have prepared you for the chaos I experienced. And the scary part of it, it's our government. And even scarier, this happened before COVID-19. So she's muted. I have no clue what the government's into, but if someone was elderly and very naive, they would believe all this chaos. No, there's gratuity. That's why we overcharge you $3 or $4. No, it's not illegal. No, you have to go in. We require that you go in. I don't know what the truth is. There's so many multiple different lies, but elderly person would believe this. So like I said, I don't know what these people are into, but obviously it's a lot. Still on hold. That's how long I've been on the phone. Before I started recording, they would just hang up 6-7 times in a row. I just could not complete the call. They know I'm recording, so they're on their best behavior. Still on hold. They've had me on hold an hour on these schemes. Even the police department. It must be nice. This is 2022, the government. What we'll do, we'll just break into her phone, control her calls. No one's ever going to believe it. If the calls are incriminating, you know what I did? Because I kept doing this and I was not being heard, I started to write. They stalked me and deprived me of mail. That's a felony. Hello.
Ms. Clark, thank you very much for holding.
Yes.
According to what it looks like on the account, that it shows that they had blocked your card in 2018. Present notes showing on the account that you could verify the information, I guess, on the address on the account. And you had stated that you had identity theft.
That's a lie. Why would the representative repetitively keep lying when I call in? Isn't that a crime? And then, ma'am, okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, so that's I'm basically going based on the notes on the account. It states on here that, it's because they blocked the card up here because you could verify the information on the account on here, and then also stated because of that identity theft.
Okay.
They had ordered a card, and before that they had blocked. You had ordered a card, and then when you had called, I guess 3 days later, that's when you had stated that, and they went ahead and blocked the card.
Okay, what happened was, I don't know why representatives would lie and deprive me of funds. My card would disable, and I tried to report it to the police, and they wouldn't do anything regarding it, and they covered for it and even arrested me until my family got involved. But some kind of way, they won't get involved now. They detained me on false pretenses. Ma'am, I don't know why you cover for that, this complete random stranger. So whatever, I'm trying to tell you the truth on what happened, ma'am. I don't know why you'd interrupt this because this is highly criminal. This completely random person. What's your name again?
My name is Irene.
Okay, so let me tell you the truth. I don't know why a multitude of people would cover for this, ma'am. Why a representative would deprive me of funds. I reported to them that I was had difficulty using my card on a whim. In emergencies, I go places. I didn't have a normal life like most people. When I finally get a ride or get to these locations, my card was deprived, denied me access, or was disabled dozens of times. So I finally get a ride or avenue to these locations and couldn't use it. I tried to go to hotels. I tried to purchase a car, and my card would disable on a whim. And like I said, I reported it to the police, and they covered for it, and then one time detained me. But here's the thing. I don't understand why a representative would lie and disable my card without my permission. It's not that I couldn't verify information that's a blatant lie. Why would so many representatives do that? And then, ma'am, I can't believe I didn't remember, but I've used this card for gas in the past. I've been having this card when I was forced into getting this card when like 2,000 and some, like almost $3,000 came up missing. And I called every month and they told me that they weren't getting the funds. I talked to the dad. He said, that's a blatant lie. I feel that money. I was going into my bank account. They forced me to cover up for the funds I wasn't getting. They put it on this card. Some kind of way the story changed to we put it on this card, but they told me every month they didn't get anything. Had I not talked to the dad, which we didn't really talk that often, and he said, no, they're taking funds from my account. Then they surfaced on a card I didn't authorize. That was back in like 2015, 2016. So I have purchased gas with this card. I don't understand why my card provider would force me to go in and get terrorized by these gang stalkers. Why would you force me to pay for the go in to pay for the gas and deprive me of my right for paying it for it outside?
Well, that's how the card is structured.
Okay, it's set up like that. Okay, why are you forcing gratuity for all these purchases and then you can't get your story straight on if it's for? I mean, I was also making purchases for makeup. So why would they tack on extra funds for that? That is not restaurants. So I asked for where does it state that you're gonna force me gratuity? Where does it state that at? The last person I asked for that information, she hung up.
It says on your terms and conditions, and it's actually on section, if I can pull it out here, I believe it's section 11, the terms and conditions that tells you on your, let me check and see here real quick, but it tells you on there.
I'd like you to send me that, ma'am. I'd like you to send me that information, ma'am.
I'm sorry?
I'd like you to send me that information.
Yeah, so there, let me go ahead and see on here, we'll have to probably reissue you a card.
I didn't ask for you to reissue me a card. I did not ask. This is what they did last time. I have a lot of things going on. I don't want a card reissued. They are sick. I have a cruise on a lake. I mean, I don't know what much else I can do. It must be nice. They get caught in crimes. All they have to do is do things out of malice. That would be horrible if they forced me to get another card and deprive me of usage of this card. I have no cash. And that's exactly what they did in the past. So someone is bothered by my newfound freedom, me getting out, fixing myself up better, because it was not safe. I was not being heard. So I want to feel good about myself. I'm fixing myself up more, working out, and I even have this cruise for the lake, and they're bothered by it, and they have the power to abuse. I hope they're not going to force me to disable my card like they have already done. How long will they continue to get away with this chaos? I can't go to the police. I can't go to the church. Nowhere I can go. I can't go to the domestic violence location. Assaulted and arrested there. Where can I go? My family hangs up in my face. I can't even shopping. I'm terrorized. How long I'm on hold? Payroll check violated multiple times, and they wouldn't give me payroll checks multiple times in a row. Issues. It's torture. You can imagine what I experienced when I wasn't recording.
Thank you for holding. All customer service reps. Thank you for calling SMI One Card. This is Jennifer. How can I assist you?
I'm not sure what was happening. Someone was trying to force me my card to get disabled, and I didn't want it disabled. I have no clue what's going on. I was on hold a very long time, and they've already done it in the past to create havoc in my life, disabling cards. Multiple representatives have been dishonest, covering for crimes that I experienced.
Okay, Ms. Clark, I'm not sure. What are you referring to? You said you want your card to be disabled.
No.
I'm not sure what you mean, ma'am.
What's your name?
Jennifer.
You have employee ID?
No, ma'am, we do not.
Okay. I just told you I'm not sure what happened. I was on the line with someone that was forcing me to disable my card, and I did not want it disabled.
Okay, do you have an unauthorized transaction on your account? Because I'm not sure what you mean that we're forcing you to disable
Crimes
your
are being
card.
committed. Representatives are committing crimes.
What kind of crime, ma'am?
Do you have
are
my
you
account up,
referring-
ma'am? Do you have my account up?
Yes, I do.
Did they disable my card?
No, your account is still active.
Well, they have in the past, and she threatened to disable it to cover for crimes. So in 2018, around November, December, I reported that my card would get disabled on a whim, and I didn't have access to my funds. Police covered for it, wouldn't take a report, and even detained me for cover up. So I asked the card company if they can assist because everywhere I kept going in person, they were covered for the crimes. I started writing, then they sabotaged mail. That's how corrupt the government is. But I don't understand why, someone would disable my card in this crisis and then threaten to do it again. Are you sure this is SMI One Card?
Yes, ma'am, we are. And the only time that we disable cards, Miss Clark, is when there's any unauthorized transaction.
So do you give the person the right to make a choice on their own if they want the disabled card, or do you enforce that they have the disabled card? They don't have a choice, you just do it?
No, ma'am, not if there is any type of unauthorized transactions. If you advise us or if we detect that there are unauthorized transactions on the account, we're going to automatically block your card.
Okay.
And that's for the protection of the account.
Okay, so if someone calls in and has questions, you just automatically block the account without their consent, even if they don't want it. You force them to do it?
No, ma'am, that's not what I stated, Ms. Clark.
Okay, well, I want clarity. Hold on, ma'am, hold on. If someone don't want their card disabled and they have things going on, do you force them to disable their card? Is my question.
Yes. We can't force you to do anything, Ms. Clark.
Okay, so that's what I would assume, that you wouldn't be able to, but I have been my card has been forced to be disabled. That's what I'm trying to address.
Okay, let me explain something, Ms. Clark. That if you have an unauthorized transaction on your account.
At the time it wasn't unauthorized, ma'am. At the time it wasn't unauthorized. My card was just disabled on a whim, preventing me from access to funds. My bank deprived me of access to funds in my account, and then closed my account out of corruption when they got caught in a lie. So I did not need SMI One Card to be depriving me of funds as well. So I called and I let them know that I tried to report it to the police that my card was getting controlled and depriving me of access to my funds and the prices. Then it was completely cut off. She was rude and completely cut it off without my permission, my consent. I sent several faxes and different things they said they needed, multiple different places, sent faxes, and they told me like 7 times they never got it. I went to a bank. I paid a bank to do it. I went to this other location. This man sent the fax 3 times, and he said, "I'm sorry, I can't keep doing this." I sent it and showed me evidence it was sent. Whoever I was talking to on my phone said that they weren't getting it. It was a blatant lie at multiple different locations, and one I even paid and have confirmation. But I'm not quite sure why she would disable the card without my consent and my permission.
Do you have anything? Because right now your account as well as your card, they're both active. Do you have something that is unauthorized at this time?
I just don't understand why you would cover for someone disabling my card, and why they would, why you would cover for that, and why I'm not able to get any assistance for this chaos. And why multiple representatives would cover for me getting
anything. We're just following the guidelines.
Representatives lied, ma'am. Representatives lied.
Ma'am, I'm not understanding. What do you mean that they lied about what?
Do you see what happened in 2018 when my card got disabled?
Ma'am, your account, okay, and I understand that, Ms. Clark, but I'm confused. You're going back to 2018. Is there an issue right now?
Your name's Jennifer?
That is correct.
So I don't understand why you guys would cover for crimes that are happening on my card, me getting overcharged, then me having to be forced to go in to where I get harassed by stunt drivers. Why they would blatantly lie, and I paid for gas with my card before.
Okay, if I'm not understanding what first of all, Ms. Clark, we're not covering for anyone. So
Sure.
That's not the case. as you stated, we deal with government accounts, so everything that we do is seen by the state. So we're not covering for
Ma'am, well, let's go into solutions because I've been deprived of solutions and cover up for years. I bought gas with my card before.
Okay.
Why did it change now that I'm just targeted? Why did it change, ma'am? Why did it change? I bought gas with my card before and now all of a sudden it changed. Why did that happen?
What has changed, Ms. Clark? I don't understand.
Why am I being forced to go on the inside? Ma'am, you're being rude, ma'am, and covering up for crimes. Why am I forced to go on the inside to purchase gas now?
Ms. Clark, and I'm not going to accept that because we're not covering up for anyone.
I don't understand why people start arguments and deflect from crimes, major crimes happening, ma'am. This has been going on years. It's a simple question. It's a simple question, ma'am. Why am I being forced to go inside to make payments now for gas and I wasn't in the past?
Because you cannot use your card at the pump. Is that what the issue is, that you're trying to use your card at the pump?
Right, I don't understand why you wouldn't enforce the change without my permission. I get harassed and gang stalked.
Ms. Clark, when we make changes to our company policies, we do not have to get your permission, ma'am.
Oh, okay, so the new change is you force all of your customers to go inside and make purchases, to make gas purchases. Okay, that's all. Okay, so why would the multiple different staff cover for charges? I got billed 2 times for AT&T, and the staff covered for it. It would not give me a refund. That happened August of 2019. They would not give me service. Look at it, ma'am. Look at it, ma'am. 2019. Please don't cover. Because you're a random, are you a supervisor?
Okay, what I'm explaining to you is that if you filed a dispute and you did not win it, then that means that when the investigation was completed,
ma'am, can you just look instead of making assumptions? That's not what happened. I was charged
your account.
So they got away with charging me 2 times in 1 month, and I didn't win that dispute.
But understand this, Miss Clark, we're your card company. We're not gaining anything from this. So if you have an issue, your issue would be with the merchant.
We're deflecting, ma'am. We're deflecting. Why would representatives cover for me being charged 2 times in 1 month for services I could not get out of corruption?
Well, that wouldn't be our representatives. That would be AT&T or whatever merchant you're referring to.
It's fruitless.
Because that's not.
It's fruitless. I just want you guys to know what I've been going through years. Getting attorneys everywhere I call in the United States. It's chaos. She's muted. I cannot go anywhere. It happens in person.
Where it goes. If you have questions or if there's concerns about any type of charges that you were charged multiple times, you would have to take that up with the merchant, not us.
Oh, used to be before I got in this, you can dispute transactions with your card company, ma'am. Used to be before the government would enforced themselves in my life that you can report, fraudulent transactions to your credit card company.
Ma'am.
Oh, you can't? Oh, okay.
No, ma'am. That's not how it works.
Oh, okay. So you don't report the fraudulent transactions to you guys anymore?
Excuse me?
So you don't report the fraudulent transactions anymore to you guys?
There's nothing to report, ma'am. You can, if you file a dispute, then an investigation is done by our dispute team. Once we reach out to the merchant, if they say that these transactions are due, then there's nothing else that we can do on this end. You would have to reach out to the merchant, not us.
Okay, and you made a change in your policy to where now you force all the people to make gas purchases on the inside. It changed.
That is correct.
That is correct. Okay, ma'am. Thank you. It's fruitless. Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. Okay.
Well, at least they didn't disable my card. Thank God, because they have in the past. And we'll see how it works today because they do things out of malice and sometimes they disable it anyway. So this is just a walk in my life, it's sick. This is what I got.